What do we mean by to persevere in prayer? What is perseverance? When you start up something, you will need that inner strength to keep you going and overcome the worries and challenges. One who is persevering has the ability to stand by his opinion or cause in spite of difficulties and challenges. Any goal that we are currently working towards can be challenging. You may want to finish a project in your job, to complete an assignment in your degree, or to get good results at your exams. All these need your time, energy, and focus till you achieve it. When you meet challenges and hardships, you may run out of strength and motivation. Then you need perseverance and persistence to keep yourself going forward. Most people cannot persevere. They underestimate time and energy to achieve their goals. In order to develop our perseverance, we must stop thinking that our goals are easy to achieve. We should expect it to be hard. Secondly, we should allocate more time for our work. Thirdly, we have to be ready to face failures. We should have an idea how we deal with failures when it comes. Today's readings teach us about persevering in prayer. In today's first reading, it is described how Moses was persevering in prayer. When Amalekites came and attacked Israelites, they started to retaliate. When the battle was going on, Moses raised his hands in prayer. While Moses was raising his hands, the Israelites won the battle. But when Moses lowered his hands, the Amalekites had the advantage. When Moses got tired of raising his hands, they kept a stone for him to sit, and his hands were held up by Aaron and Hur. We can identify here Moses' persistent prayer on behalf of his nation. He didn't give up his intercessory prayer even though he was exhausted. Through this incident, the Lord is telling us to continue to pray even when weariness and boredom set in. In the Gospel passage, Christ repeats the same condition for prayer. It is to pray continuously without losing heart. Of course, he uses the parable of the judge and the widow. Widow in the context of Israel was defenseless, separate and poor. But this widow in the Gospel seeks justice from the judge continuously until she was granted what she requested. If you prayed to God and never had any response, it could be because you were not patient enough, or God gave you the response in another form. Jesus urges his disciples to pray and not to lose heart. In this parable, although the judge was an unjust person, he had to do justice to the widow because of her persistent pleading day and night. Finally, this woman gets the justice from an unjust judge who had no fear of God. So, if an ungodly judge answers with justice in the end, how much more will a loving and a holy Father give what is right to his children? In our life, we will not get immediate results when we pray. God is not a storekeeper who supplies our daily requirements. He is also not a magician who would work miracles whenever we call heavens. But God is a loving Father who would provide us what is good for our salvation. God expects us to keep on asking, seeking, knocking and praying until the proper answer comes. Most of the time, we start praying for our needs with a lot of enthusiasm. But when we don't see the expected results within a short time, we tend to get discouraged and give up the habit of prayer. God the Father wants us to enter into a continuous and a daily conversation with Him. Therefore, we are to develop our prayer life gradually, even though we cannot see any answer immediately. Sometimes God would not provide us with what we ask for because He wants to give us something greater, or He would have a higher plan for us. Moreover, we need to read the signs of the time in our day-to-day life because God may answer our prayers in a different form, in a different way that we didn't expect. If we continue in our prayers and read the signs of the time, we may understand the greater plan of God. Therefore, let us never stop. Let us persevere in prayer until the end of our lives.